there, my YouTube friends. I'm Dizzy Driveshaft, and I'm getting fixed today.
So guys, as you would have seen from the silliness at the start of this video, we are back in the shed working on a drive shaft. And what we're actually going to do is we're going to put a new CV boot on the CV joint. And I got this, some people might not like this idea, but I'm using a stretch boot kit from ZX Driveshafts. And I'll bring the symbol up there on the packet, look. ZX Driveshafts, and there's the website if you need to. They haven't asked me to look at anything like that, and obviously I don't really need to shout them out, but I've used them for years and I've never had a problem with them. That cost me like £4, and I've got 2 packs of grease. I've got 2 new clamps, obviously to hold it in place. I've got the stretch boot itself, we're going to thingy. And the reason it only costs £4 is because I don't need the cone. I've already got the cone. We're going to put this, obviously that looks a bit dirty, but why bother cleaning it if all we're using it for is the other thing we're going to need is one of those special clamp tools. It's basically just a pair of pliers specifically for that clip just there. You put it on like that and then you'll squish it together, but I'm not going to do that now for obvious reasons because I need to put that over the drive shaft. And then we need a good blade, but unfortunately I'm going to have to just run with this rubbish one. I'm sure it'll do the job okay anyway. So we've got the bench outside, we've got the drive shaft on the bench ready to go. Let's move the camera and get started. Right, so guys, we've got the drive shaft here. We can take this nut off because we don't actually need this, because when we done the bearings one we got brand new hub nuts and pins as well to go in there, so I will keep it for now, but I am going to be putting a new nut on there, so I'm not too worried about that. Just chuck that in there for now. We need to get, there's a clip just here we need to get off, and a clip just here we need to get off. As you can see, that's split just there, so that's been chucking its grease everywhere. That's that. That's that off. And there's that one off. Now all we do is get the Stanley blade and just cut it off basically. And then literally now, obviously now we've cut that, it just comes off. That's now rubbish, obviously. It's quite brittle actually. Not much flex in that at all, which is good work. We're changing it really. Now we're just literally going to clean it up as best we can, which is literally just take all the old grease out of it. It's a bit of a clean up. So guys, I have decided to just take this off instead of stretching it over because it'll make things easier. It's literally just give it a couple of taps on the inside and that'll pop straight off. With a little bit of perseverance you get it off. Now we can finish cleaning this up and make sure everything all goes back together nicely. So for obvious reasons, I'm not going to show you how I use this cone for the stretch boot, and to be honest, the reason I've done that is because when the drive shaft is on the vehicle, you can use these to change them quickly. But considering the drive shaft's off and I've got it clamped solid, it makes more sense to make my life easier just by taking the CV part off of the actual shaft and do it the easy way. So if you haven't got to remove the drive shaft from the vehicle, this is the way to go. I personally highly advise it, because I've never had a stretch boot fail on me yet. If there's nothing actually wrong with the drive shaft, there's no reason to put a stretch boot on, no reason why you can't put a stretch boot on, and then you can do all this with the cone and everything while it's on the vehicle. I have already cut one of these bits off, so because that hole there is too narrow for the shaft there, and that should now just slot straight over like so. Down there like that. Just fold it back for a bit, fold it back a little bit just so we got a bit more space. Squeeze this down this way so I don't end up doing. And as you can see, my gloves are dirty, but that doesn't matter. If you don't end up with dirty gloves doing this job, you're definitely not doing the job properly. So get that opened up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of this just into here for now, and then so that's just a little bit in there for now. Then I've got some lubrication for the splines. Make sure that lines up perfectly with the splines, and then give it a whack with a hammer and put it back on. And that's now back on. That's now back on, and it's got like a little circlip in there, and it's dropped the circlip into the groove. So that's now hooked that into place. I'm just going to pull this back a bit, because now I am literally just going to fill the boot up with the rest of the grease. And yes, there was 2 packets of grease, but the reason is they give you 1 packet for the CV joint and they give you 1 pack for lubrication on the cone. That's that. And then we'll just pull the boot over the top of here like so. Line that one up with where it goes. This one will get lined up with where that goes there, like so. Just undo this clip, because now we just put that over like so onto the groove there. Make sure it's in the groove all the way round like so. Make sure that's nice and flush up there as well, and you literally push it as far as you can onto the tightest you can get it by hand with these clips. What we now do is we get the tool, and this tool will then go onto this square just here. Let me zoom you in a bit. So we'll just get this tool onto this square like so. It's got the bit that holds in the middle there, and then we've then got this that squishes the 2 sides. So if we push that and rest that down onto there like so, rest it slightly at the side so you've just got a bit of pressure like so. And I always like to put my thumb on these just to make sure these stay level as I'll try that again. And the end result ends up being like that. Now I've just literally, now it's squished right in, I just normally give that a little tap just to make sure that stays flat. Give that a little tap just to flatten that down a bit more, just so it's not in the way so much. And that's now secured on there nice and tight and not going to go anywhere. We just got to do the one at the bottom. I'll zoom out to do that one. I don't know how well you can see that, but we've got this one at the bottom to do, making sure that's lined up. We'll wrap this one right round here like so. These little ones are more fiddlier. Let's just clamp it now. And same as before, give that a tap down so it flattens that down a bit so it's less likely to get caught on anything. And also give this, which was sticking up at the moment, a little bit of a tap down as well, just to make sure it stays perfectly rounded. And that, my friends, is how you change a CV boot on a drive shaft, obviously providing it's off the vehicle. So, done. So just a short and simple video for today, guys, and I'm not entirely sure what the next video is going to be, because off camera I'm going to get the engine bay cleaned up and start sorting out. We're going to start sorting out, hopefully in the next week or so, getting this engine put into the car, but life has turned to being quite busy at the moment, so I am doing my best to put content out on YouTube as much as possible, but you just have to bear with me for now, guys, because like I said, life's turned quite busy, back to work and all sorts of stuff going on. But anyway, I will say bye for now. Thank you for watching and take care. Just before I go though, there'll be another one of my amazing videos just up the top here, and my subscribe icon will be down the bottom here. Take care, guys. Bye for now.